at Morgan Stanley, India, and Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member, IMI Board of Governors, would be presiding over the function today. We're also honored by the presence of our distinguished board members, trustees, Director General, Dr. Himadri Das, and some special members of IMI family, IMI achievers, our alumni. The ceremony is also blessed because of the faculty and staff of IMI, without whom this journey could never have been successfully executed or completely. Last, or should I say the first, we would like to welcome the parents, families, and well-wishers of the graduating class. We welcome you all to the 37th Annual Convocation of IMI New Delhi. Bless the auspicious ceremony. We will now observe the traditional ritual of lighting the lamp. May I now request Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member, IMI Board of Governors, to declare the convocation open.
I declare the convocation open.
We'll now have the traditional prayer felicitating peace, strength, and courage, the Saraswati Vandana. International Management Institute's portal of learning was the brainchild of the great visionary leader and patriot, the late Sri Rama Prasad Goenka. And today, at IMI, we are proud to be part of the vast 32,000 crore RP Sanjeev Goenka conglomerate that employs over 50,000 people. The group has interests across business sectors like power and natural resources, infrastructure, carbon black, retail, media, sports and entertainment, and IT and education. The group is on an exciting growth trajectory under the leadership of our dynamic chairman, Dr. Sanjeev Goenka. Today, we are honored to have Mr. V.C. Agarwal, President, Corporate HR, RP Sanjeev Goenka Group, who has made time from his busy schedule to join us from the City of Joy, Kolkata, to bless the class of 2021. Mr. V.C. Agarwal brings over 40 years of professional work experience, which includes long stints in large, diversified conglomerates in the public and private sectors. He has the experience of working in line functions and HR. At RPSG Group, Mr. VC Agarwal has taken several initiatives to align the people process with the dynamic growth plans of the group and businesses. Before joining the group, he was Director HR and board member of IOCL. During the tenure, he was also the managing director of IBP, a subsidiary of IOCL, and board member of Chennai Petroleum. Mr. VC Agarwal is a fellow member of IMA and a certified CEO coach. He is a member of the Board of Governors of IMA New Delhi, Kolkata, and Bhubaneswar. Sir, we are grateful that you have taken our time to bless the graduating class. May I request to please kindly give the convocation chairman address.
Our chief guest for the convocation, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Board of Governors, IMI, Director General, IMI, Dr. Himadri Das, Directors, IMI, Bhubaneswar and Calcutta, Dean Academics, graduating students, parents, faculties and staff of IMI, and distinguished guests. It's my great pleasure and privilege to be a part of this great event. I welcome you all on my own behalf, on behalf of the IMI Society, and on behalf of the Institute. Dear graduating students, today is a very special day for all of us. This day not only marks the end of your academic journey at IMI Delhi, but it is also the day to celebrate the beginning of your professional journey. Owing to the pandemic, the past 2 years have been tough, and I admire all of you, the students, the faculty, and staff for getting through these very difficult days together. Today, I would like to talk to you on 2 important points. Number 1, importance of behavioral skills or soft skills in your professional career. Number 2, how much important or less important it is for your professional career to pass out from a top-class business management institute. Both these points are related to each other. Let us talk first on behavioral skills. You must have heard this phrase, people are hired for functional skills and fired for behavioral skills. Being an HR practitioner, I see this happening day in and day out. Dr. David McLennan, professor of psychology at Harvard University, did path-breaking research on the-job performance and competencies. According to Dr. McLennan, some personal characteristics, for example, interpersonal relationship, humility, empathy, achievement orientation, self-confidence, initiative, etc., play a very important role in the career growth. We can call these personal characteristics as behavioral competencies. Let me now talk about some special characteristics of these behavioral competencies. Number 1, these are extremely important for on-the-job performance and for long-term career growth. Number 2, these are not easily visible to you. Therefore, it will be difficult for you to understand the areas of improvement on these soft skills and take corrective action. Number 3, Generally, it has been experienced that if you are weak in some of these areas, people around you may not be readily giving you the feedback. Therefore, you have to seek the feedback from some of your good friends and mentors to understand the areas of improvement. It is easier said than done. However, there is no shortcut if you want to focus on your career growth. Timely understanding of areas of improvement and taking corrective action is important before it becomes too late. Coming to my second point regarding the importance of the brand of the institute. All of us have observed that it is not necessary if somebody has passed out from a branded institution, he or she will be doing good or great in the career growth. Vice versa is also true, that it is not necessary if somebody has not passed out from a branded institution, he or she will not be doing good in the career growth. Brand of the institute is important in taking the entry into the professional career. Beyond that, it becomes less effective. It is your performance on the job which matters more for further career growth. We have already discussed the relationship of behavioral competencies with on-the-job performance. Also, remember, great leaders continuously work to improve themselves. Self-improvement helps to increase self-esteem and opens up new and better opportunities. Asking for feedback from your colleagues, managers, and mentors at the workplace, reading relevant books and articles, and learning from someone who can guide you are some of the ways to improve yourself. People who work continuously on self-improvement create a better version of themselves. Finally, I would like to end with a quote by John Quincy Adams, who served as the 6th President of the United States. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. As the students progress towards a path where they will become important, thank you for cautioning them that while it is nice to be important, it is more important to be nice. The significance of interpersonal skills, of empathy, of leadership, of being on the path of continuous improvement and learning, and remembering that the lineage and pedigree of this 40-year-old school will open doors, but the final door that will take you up the path will be certain paths of continuous improvement and interpersonal skills. So I don't think a succinct and more beautiful message of felicitation and blessings of this class could have been so beautifully delivered. Thank you very much for that. Now, just like change is the order of the day in our country, International Management Institute has experienced remarkable change in the last couple of years. Catalyst to this change has been our Director General, Dr. Himadri Das. Dr. Himadri Das is the Director General of IMI New Delhi, a role he took on in October 2018. Prior to that, he spent 6 years in business schools as directors at Great Lakes Institute of Management, Gurugram, and MDI, Gurugram. He worked in the technology industry in the US and India for 13 years before moving into academics in 2002. Dr. Das is a BTech and MBA from Indian Institute of Technology, New Delhi, and holds an MS and PhD from the University of Virginia, USA. I would now like to invite Dr. Himadri Das to deliver the Director's Convocation Address to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Professor Sondhi. Our chief guest, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Managing Director, Morgan Stanley. Chairperson for the convocation, Mr. VC Agarwal, Member, IMI Board of Governors and President, Corporate HR, RPSG Group. All members of the IMI Board of Governors. Dean Academics, Professor Sanjay Dhamija. My dear colleagues from all three campuses of IMI, industry partners, distinguished guests, the graduating students, and their family members. I extend to you a very warm welcome to the 37th Annual Convocation of IMI New Delhi. At the outset, I'd like to thank Mr. Rajat Mathur for accepting our invitation to be the convocation chief guest and deliver the keynote address. I'd also like to thank Mr. VC Agarwal for his consent to chairing the convocation proceedings. Today is a momentous occasion for the graduating students of the class of 2021. We have a total of 427 graduating students across 5 programs. This is made up of 268 students graduating from the postgraduate diploma in management, 64 from the postgraduate diploma in management, human resource management, another 64 from the postgraduate diploma in management, banking and financial services, 28 from the postgraduate diploma in management, executive, and 3 students are graduating from our doctoral program, the fellow program in management. So best wishes to all of these 427 graduating students. I'd like to now share with you, as is customary on every convocation day, some key highlights and achievements of the year that went by leading to the graduation of these students. So this would be the academic year 2020 to 2021. So let's start with our most important stakeholders, the students. So I'll talk about some of our big student achievements. Our students have a culture of participating in a lot of competitions, both business school competitions as well as corporate competitions. More than 200 students participated in business school competitions across the country and also internationally. 39 of them had podium finishes. And some of the top institutions they participated in were the IIMs, the IITs, XLRI, and internationally at the prestigious Hult Business School. In addition, they participated in about 20 odd corporate competitions across the who's who of corporate India. And this number is growing every year as we speak. Another thing we take great pride about is our very, very deep and vibrant industry engagement. We strongly believe that a business school is relevant to industry only if it actively engages with industry throughout the year across multiple platforms. So in the academic year 2020 to 2021, we had 105 industry executives who engaged with our students. These included a series of talks that we call the Business Thought Leader Series, where senior executives address students on something completely outside of curriculum. They will typically talk about, challenges they face in the industry sectors they work in, their experiences, how they see the future, what are the learnings they can leave our young students with, so that some of the things that these senior executives learned the hard way, our students can hit the ground running. So this is what we call the Business Thought Leader Series. We also have a 3-day intense management conclave called Conventus, where a large number of industry executives are invited to give keynote speeches as well as participate in panel discussions. And then the students run a 3-day management festival, which is both fun and games as well as mixed with the serious business. This is called Kritva. And here too, a large number of industry executives are called to judge events as well as to participate in some of the more serious business events. One of the things that any B school is known by, especially in this country, is placements. Now, the graduating class of 2021, for whom the convocation is, had by far the toughest year in terms of placements, because that was in the heart, in the epicenter of the pandemic. They were graduating around the time the second wave, the Delta wave, was happening, the worst wave that this country went through. So in those circumstances, for that class of graduating students, we had about 50 pre-placement offers plus pre-placement interviews. We had 120 recruiters come to campus to hire our students. The maximum CTC in that difficult year was 29.75 lakhs. The average CTC was 12.77. The average CTC for the top 25% of the class was 15.5. And the average CTC for the top 10% of the class was 17.32 lakhs per annum. And as a quick peek ahead, we are happy to say that in the subsequent year, the batch which is just about to graduate will be the 38th convocation. These numbers have gone up by about 20%. Another thing that everybody, like in any competitive environment, wants to be known by is where do they rank. So in the Government of India NRF ranking for 2021, which looks at all business schools, government and private, we were ranked 26th. And in the various reputed media rankings like Business World, Business Today, etc., India Today, we have been ranked consistently in the top 15, typically 12th, 13th, 14th. Besides turning out highly competent students for industry to recruit, we also have a fairly vibrant and significant executive education arm, where we do training programs for working executives. So in the year 2020 to 2021, a total of 1,108 working executives were trained. And because of the situation, these were all online training programs. So there was initially a mindset issue with a lot of companies to shift from what they were used to, physical training programs, to online, but it happened fairly soon. We had a combination of custom programs for public and private sector companies, as well as open programs. True to our name of international, we have a fairly strong set of international linkages. We have 18 partnerships with schools, business schools across the world, with a huge concentration of them in Europe. Unfortunately, in the 2020-2021 year, because of COVID, there were no physical student exchanges. Otherwise, we get a large number of students come in for a term from abroad, and our students go abroad for a term. So that could not happen due to the pandemic. We are very, very proud of our faculty. We would like to think that we probably have among the best quality faculty in the country. And one measure of the quality of faculty, besides, of course, their academic backgrounds and their educational pedigree, is the intellectual capital that they churn out, what is measured as research output. So in that 1 year that we are discussing, there were 37 peer-reviewed journal papers indexed in the reputed Web of Science and Scopus databases. So these are a select set of refereed journals that are in these two databases. These are gold standard databases across the world. So we had 37 publications in these. Plus we had 7 books by our faculty in 8 book chapters. Our faculty presented papers in 6 international and national conferences. They published 11 case studies with teaching notes. One of these cases was awarded the honorable mention and highly recommended case study in the prestigious 27th Siemens Emerald International Case Competition. We also had our faculty publish more than a dozen articles with business and national magazines and dailies. Our faculty colleagues have also been successful in getting competitively awarded research grants from international funding agencies. One example is the Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute, where a large number of researchers apply for grants. It's very, very competitive, and the selection is very few among a lot of people who compete. Our peer-reviewed academic journal, the Global Business Review, has gone from strength to strength, growing from 2 issues a year when it first started to currently 6 issues a year. This is indexed in both of those reputed databases I talked about earlier, Web of Science as well as Scopus, and it is also part of the ABDC journal categorization of business management journals. Our second peer-reviewed academic journal, which is relatively recent, 2015 vintage, Emerging Economy Studies, has also picked up well and is gaining traction with both academics and industry practitioners. We are an old business school, founded in 1981, as Professor Sondhi was saying in the introduction. So we are fortunate to have a very, very large alumni base. We have more than 7,000 alumni who engage actively with their alma mater across multiple activities. Some of these are, they participate in admission panels for student selection. They mentor students who are made admission offers, helping them decide what they should be doing. They address students about career opportunities during the orientation of the new batch. They spend multiple weekends doing mock interviews of first-year students preparing for their internships. They also spend several weekends doing mock interviews of second-year students, preparing them for their final placements. They come and talk to our students as part of an alumni talk series, and they also become members of several industry panels we do for different activities we do with our students. When we look into the future, we expect a lot of fast-paced growth across multiple parameters. Research will continue to be one of them. Industry engagement, the nature of placements in terms of both the quantity and quality. Looking forward to more alumni getting involved, and in general, moving up the ranking scales as well, because the outside world often sees that and they don't know what's inside that makes that happen. I'd like to end with some advice for the graduating students, and especially advice that has been learned by all of us during the last 2 years. The first piece of advice: be agile and ready to deal with any kind of disruption. Technology anyway has been disrupting the way all businesses work, and education is also one of them. But the disruption caused by technology has been accelerated by the pandemic, and the pandemic has by itself caused its own disruptions. So all of us fell down, but the trick is to get up quickly. That is where the agility comes in. So hope for the best, be prepared for the worst, be agile, and don't let anything pull you down. Next piece of advice: always question the status quo. Don't do anything because it was done that way for the last 5 years, or the last 10 years for that matter. Something might have been happening completely suboptimally. You should take the initiative to question the status quo, see whether you can make improvements, either marginal or radical. Often there is huge opportunity for radical improvement through innovation, but that can happen only when you question the status quo. So always do that. My next piece of advice: look for solutions, not problems. The easiest thing on earth is to point out problems. This doesn't work, this will never work, this is not good, that is not good. We don't progress by identifying problems. We all progress by finding solutions. So if you find a problem, don't talk about the problem. Find a solution and present the solution to whoever you have to present it to. Now that you'll be, you're already working, you've been working for about 8-9 months, 9-10 months, most of you. So present solutions to your team, to your boss, to your management. That is what you'll be valued for, not by finding what is wrong and why things don't work. The next piece of advice: find a mentor. A mentor is someone who is invested in you, who is your well-wisher. Does not have to be your boss. Could be somebody senior in your industry, in some other industry, but somebody who has kind of learned a lot of things the hard way, is in a position to mentor you and kind of accelerate your journey because of the tips she or he is able to give you. So find a good mentor, which I said has nothing to do with the current job you're in. Find a mentor who can hold your hand for a significant portion of your career. It'll hold your career in very good stead. And the final piece of advice, which I think is the most important piece of advice, which was alluded to by Mr. Agarwal also. He talked about behavioral skills. I'll be very, very specific. Be a good human being, be polite, be courteous, and be humble, especially to people who otherwise look up to you, to your juniors, to your subordinates. This becomes even more important as you grow in your careers. As you grow in your careers, you'll be rising, and there'll be more people who are junior to you, more people who are subordinates. You will command respect and you'll be a respected leader if you are polite, courteous, and humble with everybody, especially the people who are your subordinates and those who are junior to you. This is something that you must do no matter what else you do. At least you will be remembered and respected as a good human being, if nothing else, which I think is the most important thing to be remembered as. I'd like to close this by thanking the chairman and the members of the Board of Governors of IMI, whose constant support and guidance has made our journey possible. I'd like to thank our industry partners for believing in us, for believing in our students, and helping us grow. Big thanks to Team IMI, every single member of Team IMI, without whom none of this would have been possible. Whatever we have achieved so far and whatever we'll achieve in the future, full credit will always go to Team IMI. Finally, I'd like to congratulate the graduating students. Extremely well done. You deserve all the accolades you can get. And I'd like to acknowledge the family members of these graduating students for having supported them, not just in these few years they were here with us, but all their lives, grooming them, giving values, teaching them what's right, what's wrong, and trusting us to have them with us for their journey during this program. So thank you very much again, and wish you all the best to our dear graduating students.
Thank you, sir, for taking us to the ABCD of learning. A for agility, B for being a good human being, C for curiosity and questioning, D for deliberating and seeking solutions, and to cap it up, G, looking for a guru who can take us on a path. Thank you, sir. With your love for technology, our message had to be succinct and sharp. Thank you for taking IMI New Delhi to achieve great milestones, as was conveyed in your director's address. I'm sure IMI is going to scale new heights under the dynamic and foresighted leadership of Dr. Sanjeev Goenka and you. And now, for the special moment of glory of the graduating class, a moment that we've all been waiting for, conferring of the graduation honors and felicitating our young achievers who have demonstrated outstanding performances and would be receiving their scholastic medals and honors today. May I request Professor Sanjay Dhamija, Dean Academics, International Management Institute, New Delhi, to kindly carry the ceremony forward.
Thank you, Professor Sondi. I would request Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors, to award the diplomas to the graduating students. The candidates of the fellowship program in management will receive their titles of fellowship from Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors. Sukhjit Singh Rao, Soumanya Ghosh, Shrikant Vijayakar. I am happy to present Sukhjit Singh Rao and two others who have been examined and found qualified for the fellowship program in management and request the IMI Society to confer the fellowship to them.
By the authority given to me by the IMI Society, I confer on you the title of Fellow of the International Management Institute, New Delhi, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
Thank you, sir. The candidates of the 27th batch of Postgraduate Diploma in Management 2019-21 will receive their diplomas from Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors. Arushi Jain, Astha Agarwal, Ayushi Singla, Abhinandan Jain, Abhinav Mutneja, Abhishek Jalan, Abhishek Lamba, Abhishek Mittal, Aditya Kwatra, Aishwarya, Akash Dagur, Akshay Kumar, Aman Agarwal, Aman Gupta, Aman Sharma, Animesh, Anurag Prashar, Anurag Raju, Arushi Chaturvedi, Ashish Sharma, Avinash J, Vaibhav Jain, Bhavna Pradhan, Bhavna Chaube, Daksh Manglik, Debojyoti Chakraborty, Dipanshu Arora, Divya Chaudhary, Divya Prasad, Gautam Sharma, Harshit Ojha, Himanshu Gulati, Janak Gupta, Kalagya Vatsa, Kanishk Lodha, Kapil Sharma, Kunal Omprakash Tale, Mahima Mantri, Monal Rajdan, Muskan Bandula, Nikit Kedia, Pridhi Agarwal, Prakhar Gupta, Pranav Malhotra, Pranav Mangal, Pranshul Khare, Raghav Khurana, Rahul Jha, Raja Shri Krishnan, रविंद्रनाथ बेटारसे, रितु मित्तल, रुचिरा बनर्जी, साहिल बत्रा, साक्षी रुंगटा, समर्थ चौधरी, सतप्रिया सौम्यदर्शी सिद्धार्थ, श्रेय श्रीवास्तव, शुभम गुप्ता, शुभिका चौहान, श्वेता कुरियन, सौरव कौशिक, सौविक समंता, स्वर्णिम बारमेरा, तुषार चड्ढा, वैभव महेश्वरी, वंशिका खरबंदा, आदित्य वर्मा, आस्था खन्ना, आस्था मरवा, आदर्श बंसल, आकांक्षा नेगी, अखिल सुरेश, अक्षय जैन, अमन मकवाना, अमीशा वर्मा, अनिरुद्धा विश्वेकर, अनमोल अग्रवाल, अंशिका सिंह, अन्वेषण भट्टाचार्य, अपूर्वा दुआ, अरित लोध, आयुष शर्मा, भुवन विजय सिंह बैस, बिपिन जोहनी, चेतन मचीवाल, देवेश कुमार सिंह, दीक्षिता जी, दिप्रोदेव साहा, फागुनी भल्ला, गौरव गुप्ता, हर्षल अग्रवाल, हर्षदीप सिंह, इप्सिता गंगोपाध्याय, इशिता कटारिया, जसवीन सिंह, कबीर ग्रोवर, करण परूथी, कृष्ण स्वरूप भट्ट, क्षितिज मित्तल, कुमार कार्तिक जैन, लक्ष्मी गुप्ता, लवीश शुक्ला, MVS साई हेमंत, मृणाल चोपड़ा, नायना गर्ग, नम्रता जैन, निखिल अहलावत, पंचल शर्मा, पारस जैन, प्राची शर्मा, प्रकाश किशोर, पुनीत प्रभाकर, राजीव गुसाई, ऋषभ मकीजा, ऋषभ पटोदी, रिया मनचंदा, सजल मल्होत्रा, साक्षी खंडेलवाल, सम्यक चौधरी, संज्ञा ललवानी, शेफाली, शिप्रा गुप्ता, सृंजना मित्तल, सिमरन ग्रोवर, श्रीकुंज गुटगुटिया, सुमित अग्रवाल, सुशांत पाटिल, सईद अहमद इम्तियाज अली, वैभव विंदल, वैभव मोहता, वेंकल्या सत्या चक्रधर, वंश गुप्ता, व्राज शाह, यश अदलखा, अभिषेक संघाई, ऐश्वर्या, अक्षय मलिक, अमूल्या दलवी, अनीश वर्मा, अंकुर जोशी, अनुष्का कथूरिया, अपूर्वा जैन, अपूर्वा पांडे, भूमिका चावला, दीपक सक्सेना, दीप्ति सिंगला, ध्रुव कक्कड़, गर्वित भुराद, हर्षुल बंसल, इशिता जैन, करण कपूर, कीर्ताना रेड्डीगरी, क्रांति गुन्नानी, क्षितित मनोचा, महक जिंदल, मानसी गर्ग, मिली मोटवानी, मोहित चिकारा, मुथु शिवा कथिर, लिंदाद्री शेखर पाल, निष्ठा सेठ, नीतीश शर्मा, पराग गर्ग, परिजात तिवारी, परिमा गोयल, पार्थ शेठ, प्रिया बर्ता साहा, राघव गुलाटी, ऋषभ अग्रवाल, ऋषभ सेठी, ऋषभ, ऋतिक अग्रवाल, रोबिन सहारन, सजल जैन, सलील कौशल, संभव जैन, संकल्प अग्रवाल, सार्थक गुप्ता, समरिन खान, शीतल गोयल, शेफाली गर्ग, शिवांगी गोयल, शिवांगी सक्सेना, शिवानी गोयल, श्रेया गैनरीवाल, श्रेयास वेंकटेश, शुभम बंसल, शुभम जिंदल, शुभम खंडेलवाल, शुभम टोडी, सौरभ दास, सृष्टि अग्रवाल, शुभिंदु हल्दर, सुजो मैथ्यू, सुरभि जैन, सईद जईम अनवर, तनिष बनावट, त्रिकाश बत्रा, विघ्नेश वीएस, विशांत चोपड़ा, विवेक कुमार अग्रवाल, अक्षय प्रियदर्शी, अमनदीप सिंह, अनिरुद्ध सोंधी, अंशुल सुखेजा, अर्का बोस, अश्मिता गोयल, अश्विनी कुमार श्रीवास्तव, अविधा पांडा, आयुष अग्रवाल, आयुषी गुप्ता, दिवांशु खोटी, एकता मित्तल, हिमांशु चौधरी, करण अग्रवाल, काशवी जालान, कटपली तनोज कुमार, मुकुल सिंगल, मुस्कान बंसल, नव्यन आरबी, निखिल चोपड़ा, पार्थ सुवाग्या, पीयूषी भटनागर, प्रणव जैन, प्रतीक गोयल, प्रतीक खंडेलवाल, पुनीत त्यागी, राहुल चंडक, रजत जैन, ऋषभ गर्ग, रिया कोहली, रोहन शर्मा, रोमित खंडेलिया, रुशिल शर्मा, सहाना नागाराजन, शाई शिवा राव, समर्थ श्रीवास्तव, सार्थक भदूरी, सत्यम बत्रा, शरण्या विश्वनाथन, सताक्षी भटनागर, शिखा पांडे, श्रेया खत्री, श्रिया जगेतिया, श्रिया कोहली, श्रुतिका अग्रवाल, शुभम अग्रवाल, शुभित गुलाटी, शुभनीत खेरा, सुमेश अग्रवाल, सौमिक मल, सौनक चक्रवर्ती, Shriram R, Steven George, Sujal Patel, Suraj Chandel, TV Raghva Kaushik, Tanmay Mishra, Tanmay Srivastav, Trishala Pandey, Utsavi Saxena, Vaibhav Mundra, Vaishali, Vidhi Mundra, Vineet Agarwal, Vishnu Bajpai, Vishnu Ivy, Sarthak Mishra, I'm happy to present Arushi Jain and 267 other participants who have been examined and found qualified for the postgraduate diploma in management and request the IMI Society to confer the diploma on them.
By the authority given to me by the IMI Society, I confer on you the postgraduate diploma in management, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
Thank you, sir. The candidates of the 14th batch of the postgraduate diploma in management, human resources management, will receive their diplomas from Mr. VC Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors. Arushi Makhija, Aishwarya Mittal, Akshat Sharma, Akshay Sethi, Akshit Vats, Aman Kumar Agarwal, Anshuman Das, Anushya Hazara, Astha Gupta, Bhavya Gupta, Bhumika Grover, Daksh Aneja, Dalima Gupta, Devika R, Devika Tiwari, Dharna Lakshmi, Dheeraj Arora, Gyan Shankar, Harshit Pandey, Jessica Petro, Karen D'Souza, Kavya Vaid, Kirti Sirohi, Kush Garg, Mansi Bajal, Manu Khanna, Mayank Mehrotra, Monish Milind Katavre, Naka Gargai, Neha Sharma, Nimita Bali, Paul P. Benny, Plobita De Sarkar, Pooja Khandelwal, Prachi Surana, Rahul Mishra, Rajiv Ghosh, Richa Pandey, Rishabh Agarwal, Rishik Bahuguna, Sagrika Bali, Sachi Gupta, Sagar Kashyap, Sakshi Malhotra, Sambhav Jain, Satyaki Chakraborty, Savani Tandon, Seema Shamshi, Shrey Sharma, Shubham Tiwari, Siddhant Singh, Simran Arora, Simran Bakshi, Simran Sahai, Shrishti Kukreti, Tanvi Garg, Taranjot Kaur, Upasna Dhami, Vaibhav Chandrakant Joshi, Vani Gupta, Ved Chandola, Vedika Arya, Vinny Nigam, Vishal Gupta, I am happy to present Arushi Makhija and 63 other participants who have been examined and found qualified for the postgraduate diploma in management, human resources management, and request the IMI Society to confer the diplomas on them.
By the authority given to me by the IMI Society, I confer on you the postgraduate diploma in management, human resource management, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
Thank you, sir. Candidates for the 6th postgraduate diploma in management, banking and financial services will receive their diplomas from Mr. VC Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors. Abhishek Prakash, Aditya Kumar, Aditya Srivastav, Ajmi Fatima NS, Akshay Arora, Akshay Jain, Akshay Grepuje, Akshit Sharaf, Amisha Sikri, Amit Kumar Jha, Anant Saxena, Ananya Sachdev, Ankit Goyal, Ankit Sahu, Anushka Jain, Anzar Kadri, Aparna Sharma, Ayush Chadha, Bangalore V. Raswant, Bhuvan Agarwal, Chitransh Shankdhar, Dhaneskar B, Gaurav Duggal, Gaurav Sharma, Harsh Pasari, Hem Kumar Singh Dangi, Himalya Chauhan, Iti Shukla, Khushbu Jain, Kumar Aditya, Kunal Obrai, Lahoti Ashutosh, Mahika Goel, Minali Jain, Mehak Singhal, Monica Upadhyay, Naveen Thakur, Neha Ahuja, Nipun Mahajan, Nishchal Rastogi, Praveen A, Priya Gupta, Raghav Agarwal, Ridham Chadda, Richa Sharma, Rishi Brahma, Saloni Lodha, Sarthak Agarwal, Sarvagya Alang, Shashank Shimali, Shiv Teja Nalamala, Shreya Ahuja, Shubham Sagar, Shubham Shukla, Shweta Gupta, Sonal Sharma, Sonal Shriya, Soumya Mittal, Sparsh Madan, Vijaya Prashad, Vijay VS, Vikramaditya Unyal, Vinayak Singhal, Saurav Prasad Sinha, I am happy to present Abhishek Prakash and 63 other participants who have been examined and found qualified for the postgraduate diploma in management, banking and financial services, and request the IMI Society to confer the diplomas on them.
By the authority given to me by the IMI Society, I confer on you the postgraduate diploma in management, banking and financial services, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
Thank you, sir. Candidates for the 36th batch of postgraduate diploma in management executive will receive their diplomas from Mr. VC Agarwal, member, IMI Board of Governors. Abhishek Ghosh, Akanksha Jaiswal, Anurag Sharma, Devika Nair, Divakar Pantri, Kanchan Devnath, Manik Garg, Monica Gidra, Nivedita Bajpai, Opilappa BG, Piyush Sharma, Pooja Bora, R. Prabhakar, Pravesh Tiwari, Priya Raj, Priya Agarwal, Rajni Srivastav, Raman Kumar Garg, Sahil Jangan, Sampurna Sinha, Shraddha Arya, Shruti Saxena, Siddharth Upadhyay, Siddharth Datta, Sonam, Tanmay Anand, Tarun Kichlu, Vishak Chandran, I'm happy to present Abhishek Ghosh and 27 other participants who have been examined and found qualified for the postgraduate diploma in management executive and request the IMI Society to confer the diploma on them.
By the authority given to me by the IMI Society, I confer on you the postgraduate diploma in management executive, and I charge you that in your life, by word and deed, you prove yourself worthy of it.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal, for awarding the diplomas to the graduating students. Now I'll present the list of awardees of the scholastic medals. The following students will receive their medals and blessings from the chief guest, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Managing Director, Morgan Stanley. Where is Kutch? The IMI Gold Medal for securing first position and Silver Medal for securing second position has been awarded to the following students of the 27th Postgraduate Diploma in Management. Gold Medal, Shriya Jagetia. Silver Medal, Abhishek Lamba. The IMI Gold Medal for securing first position and Silver Medal for securing second position has been awarded to the following students of the 14th Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Human Resources Management. Gold Medal, Nimita Bali. Silver Medal, Upasna Dhami. The IMI Gold Medal for securing first position and Silver Medal for securing second position has been awarded to the following students of the 6th Postgraduate Diploma in Management, Banking and Financial Services. Gold Medal, Khushbu Jain. Silver Medal, Mahika Goyal. The IMI Gold Medal for securing first position and Silver Medal for securing second position has been awarded to the following students for the 36th Postgraduate Diploma in Management Executive. Gold Medal, Vishak Chandran. Silver Medal, Sahil Jangam. Dr. Sunanda Sen Gupta Memorial Medal is awarded to the best lady participant across all postgraduate programs in 2021. Shriya Jagetia. Dr. G.K. Suri Memorial Medal is awarded to the best participant with the highest CGPA across all postgraduate programs in 2021. Vishak Chandran. Ms. Jasimaran Memorial Medal is awarded to the best lady participant in the postgraduate diploma in management, human resource management in 2021, Nimita Bali. Srimati Manorama Buddhiraja Medal is awarded for best marketing student in postgraduate diploma in management in 2021, Parth Amit Kumar Sheth. Dr. Rama Prasad Goenka Leadership Medal is awarded for outstanding performance across all postgraduate programs in 2021. Parth Amit Kumar Sheth. Dr. Baldev R. Sharma Memorial Medal is awarded for outstanding research amongst graduating participants across all postgraduate programs. Shweta Gupta. I would request our chief guest, Mr. Mathur, to bless the meritorious students.
Congratulations to all the winners. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mathur. I would request Professor Neena Sondhi to take the ceremony further.
Thank you, Professor Dhameja. Thank you, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Mr. V.C. Agarwal, Dr. Himadri Das, and Professor Sanjay Dhameja for felicitating and honoring the IMI Scholars of 2021. Congratulations to the graduates, the awardees, their family, and IMI faculty and staff on this momentous occasion. Life goes a full circle, and today, as we recognize the performance of our young achievers from the class of 2021, IMI also has a tradition of honoring our brand ambassadors from previous batches who have spearheaded change in the way India does business. They are, ladies and gentlemen, our alumni who have attained national and international recognition for their professional successes. In doing so, they have made themselves and their alma mater proud. Every year, we felicitate some of our outstanding achievers during the convocation ceremony. There is a formal nomination process based on specific criteria that reflect IMI New Delhi's mission and values, which is to develop socially sensitive, ethical, value-adding leaders and organizations through relevant teaching, research, training, and consulting that serve stakeholders' interests. A specially construed committee then reviews the nomination and identifies and selects the outstanding and deserving achievers. It is with great pride and pleasure I share with you that this year we have identified 2 outstanding achievers whom we formally felicitate today. The Distinguished Alumni Awards will be presented by our chief guest, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Managing Director, Human Resources, Morgan Stanley, India, and Dr. Himadri Das, Director General, IMI New Delhi, will read the citations.
Late Ms. Surbhi Khurana was an alumna of the 1998 batch of the postgraduate program of IMI New Delhi. She was working as General Manager India and South Asia at ResMed International. Her focused attitude and commitment to excellence with high standards of integrity helped her build sustainable business models. She completed her MSc Biotechnology from JNU and was keen to leverage her academic qualification in the pharmaceutical industry. She strived hard and got into a dream company, Ranbaxy Laboratories, through her perseverance. She had multidisciplinary experience in managing several brands and P&L in healthcare and pharma sectors across various markets in India, South Asia, Taiwan, the Philippines, and the Asia Pacific. She made notable contributions to SmithKline Beecham, Ranbaxy, Baxter, Capsugel Lonza, and ResMed. She was listed in Economic Times Corporate Dossier as one of India Inc.'s most powerful women leaders in 2015. In recognition of her rich contribution and outstanding achievements, late Ms. Surbhi Khurana is being conferred the Distinguished Alumni Award by IMI New Delhi at the Annual Convocation of 2021. The award recognizes her unique contribution to the corporate sector and her commitment to excellence, which will inspire the future generations of IMI. Mr. Prithviraj Dasgupta has a bachelor's degree in economics and has completed his postgraduate program from IMI New Delhi in 1998. He is currently the chairman and managing director at Ortiva Realty and Developers Private Limited. His entrepreneurial journey started 10 years ago in 2012 when he co-founded Ortiva Realty in New Delhi with his wife and fellow IMI batchmate, Preeti Dasgupta. This was after he had worked for over 14 years in diverse roles across sales, operations, globalization, business development, and business leadership with world-class companies such as Philips, EXL, and GE Capital, while living in 11 cities across 3 countries that included India, USA, and Canada. His company focuses on bespoke residential real estate construction and stands for excellent build quality, on-time delivery, reliable after handover service, and unyielding integrity, with a rapidly expanding footprint of completed and ongoing projects in premium and upmarket neighborhoods of South Delhi. His unwavering focus on customer delight ensures that most of his new business comes from past clients. His work sustains many livelihoods connected directly and indirectly with his projects. He is a TEDx speaker and is frequently invited to address and give lectures to MBA and high school students. In recognition of his rich contribution and outstanding achievements, Mr. Prithviraj Dasgupta is being conferred the Distinguished Alumni Award by IMI New Delhi at the Annual Convocation of 2021. The award recognizes his unique contribution first to the corporate sector and then as a successful entrepreneur. His commitment to excellence in whatever he does will be an inspiration for the future generations of IMI.
Thank you, Mr. Mathur and Dr. Das, for felicitating our brand ambassadors, the IMI achievers, who have done us proud and will continue to do so as they carry the legacy of this great school forward. At IMI New Delhi, we are proud to share that our credo is to nurture and develop holistic business leaders who will handle the reins of a glorious and amazing new India through the path of responsible and dynamic leadership. And today, ladies and gentlemen, to make this occasion more special, we have the ceremonial convocation address being delivered by a business leader who truly emulates these values. Our chief guest, Mr. Rajat Mathur, Managing Director, Head of Human Resources at Morgan Stanley, India. Mr. Mathur is currently the head of HR for Morgan Stanley, India, and he has close to 3 decades of experience in human resources, with the last 15 years being at the helm of the function both locally and overseas. He has been with Morgan Stanley for 13 plus years and has served as Asia Head of Talent for Morgan Stanley in addition to his current role. Previously, he was Director of Human Resources for Deutsche Bank Global Offshoring Centers. His experience also includes running his own consulting and adventure company focused on developing life skills in the youth community. An alumnus of the prestigious St. Stephen's College, Delhi, Mr. Mathur has earned his master's from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune. He is an adventure seeker, with Mr. Mathur's primary interest being running marathons, triathlons, and adventure racing. He is a skilled mountaineer, having achieved 4 successful summits, and has just come back from the Everest base camp. When he isn't climbing mountains, he also writes books, having already published a book called Dear Dad and has been contributing author for the book A Wonderful Boss. Dear Sir, I don't think our budding young managers who dream of maturing into strategic decision-making roles could have had a better person to deliver the convocation address. May I invite you, sir, to address these bright and promising managers of tomorrow.
Thank you, Professor Sondi, for your kind words. Mr. Agarwal, Dr. Das, Professor Damija, faculty members, students, and families in attendance. Good evening. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you today. Scared, apprehensive, worried, happy, thankful, nervous, excited, proud, probably very proud. If you are anything like I was when I wore a younger man's clothes, you're sitting there feeling a million different emotions and asking yourselves a million different questions. Did I make the right choice? Without a doubt. Was this worth the sacrifices that I made to get here? Absolutely. You know that you have graduated. And the reason why that's happened is not because I'm here delivering a convocation speech, but because you have worked hard the last couple of years to get a seat on this table. So many congratulations, class of 2021. 30 years ago, when I was sitting listening to one of the speakers, I had gone through about 18 years of the education system and was skeptical for our public education system. But this was with limited experience of this world. I realized once I'd crossed this threshold that you are about to cross now, or you've crossed actually the last few months, that life was very different from your college and school days. And I was just a frog in the well. And so, ladies and gentlemen, my first piece of advice. I encourage you to be open to new ideas, experiences, and directions, specifically experiences. You have learned from some of the most accomplished in the field of education, and in probably some of the best surroundings you can have. And I'm sure that you've been challenged to think about new topics and about old topics in a new and different way. In this ever-changing world, you never know what may pique your interest. I have seen transformations happen many times to me and to the people around me. And I imagine that you will witness them as well. If not for yourselves, for the people around you. I strongly recommend that you be open to these changes. I have personally become a very different person because I was. Now, what was college all about? Well, look around you. The people on this Zoom call will be your friends, your colleagues, and perhaps most importantly, folks that will help you solve complex problems, statistical problems, mathematical modeling problems in the future. Don't hesitate to call upon them when you need to, personally and professionally. The relationships that you develop with the faculty, with the staff, and with the other students will also help you build your career. The benefits of this network, this first professional network of yours, will follow you forever. Not once did I feel alone when I was at business school, and not once have I felt alone in the last 30 years of working because of this first professional network of mine. Leverage it, and leverage it as much as you can. Now, each of us would have experienced college differently and possibly even learned differently. I remember when I joined college, I had absolutely no ability to speak in public. I was petrified. I was shy. I didn't like to speak in class. Never felt that my ideas or comments were original enough. To speak in front of a large group of people was simply out of the question. Then in college, I made class presentations, got more confident, got more articulate. I no longer have a problem stating my opinions, challenging my peers or advisors, or even questioning my superiors. In fact, I only had a few nightmares about giving this speech. So as you cross the threshold between your student life and work life, I'm going to share a story with you that impacted me significantly. It happened very early in my career. In fact, it was day one of my work life. For those of you who are not very familiar with Mumbai, I started my career in Mumbai, and I was never ever exposed to this public transportation system called locals. Mr. Agarwal probably knows this better than I do, but the transportation system in Mumbai is the lifeline of Mumbai. Anyway, I used to stay in a place called Andheri, and I was told by someone who had experienced Mumbai before me that if I took the 7:59 train to Mumbai from Andheri, I would get to my Nariman Point office for the 9 o'clock session. First timer in Mumbai, if you've seen what the crowds are in a station, you will realize that a newbie never makes it into the train on their own. So the 7:59 train came, I couldn't get in. The 8:02 train came, I couldn't get in. The 8:05 train came, I couldn't get in. And finally, around 8:10, I got myself pushed into the train to make the journey. I was obviously late for my session. As I walked into the session, there was an elderly gentleman over there who stopped the class as I stood at the door, waved me in, and let me settle down. In those times, we didn't have laptops or anything. We used to have briefcases, and I sort of fumbled with my book and notepad and everything else as he waited patiently for me to settle down. When I had settled down, he said to no one in particular, he actually said this in class. He said, if you're late, it shows that you don't care. And the moment I heard that, my first instinct was to react. So I tried to stand up to try and defend why I was late. And he sort of raised his hand and he said, don't tell me, don't say anything. Come and speak to me on Friday. And this was Monday. So obviously I was fuming, angry young man just out of college, just been told off on the first minute of my work life. I promise you, I didn't pay attention to a single word that he said for the next 4 hours. Anyways, I sort of made a note of when his classes were. And in that week, he had 2 sessions, one starting after lunch, one in the morning, in the next couple of days. So in the afternoon session, there was a break between 1 and 2, and his session was supposed to start at 2. I quickly had my lunch, and I was in the class at 1:30. And so when he entered, the first person he saw sitting right in front was me. I did the same thing when he had a class in the morning. I think it was a Thursday. I didn't wait for the 7:59. I actually took the 7 o'clock train, and I was there in class 30 minutes before he came in, was there so that he could see me. Well, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday happened. On Friday, he finished his session. It finished at about 4 o'clock in the evening, and I waited for the class to empty out so that I could go and tell him why I was late on the first day. And when I walked up to him, he smiled at me, and he said, and I said to him, I said, "Sir, I want to tell you why I was late on the first day." And he said, "Son, don't tell me why you were late on the first day. Tell me why you were early on the other days." And I said, "Because I wanted to show to you that I could do it." And he said to me, he said, "That's exactly what I meant. If you're late, it shows that you don't care. But if you're early, it shows that you care." You know, you never miss a flight when you booked a ticket on a train, right? Well, I hope so. I hope that you don't. But it's rare that you will miss a flight because you're invested in that. The lessons that I learned, and I had learned a lot of them in early on in my career, stay with you for your life. And so in that spirit, I'm going to ask you to do 2 things this year that will take you outside your comfort zone. The first is to experiment with choices. Stretch yourself. Do something that's unfamiliar to you, right? Try doing something that could open new doorways for you. And frankly, what's the worst that can happen to you? And if you ask that question to yourselves, you'll realize that a lot of the hesitation that you have is actually in your head. The second is on a more personal level. Take the opportunity to meet different people, different from you by religion, ethnicity, background, someone who has a completely different view of the issues that are important to you. And then listen to their thoughts, views, ideas. I promise you, it will change you for the better. The crossing of the threshold from being students to being an adult in this big bad world needs you to realign your thinking, your ways of doing things. But probably the most important thing is to realize that you own the consequences of every action that you take, big or small. Everything that you do will have consequences, and you will need to own them. I will conclude with another story because it's important for you to know that life will get stressful. And it's important for you to also know that it's critical that you focus on your well-being. I must have been in my late 20s, was driving a new Maruti 800 at that time with my boss next to me. And we were going for a sales call, and we got stuck in really bad traffic, very close to your institute at a place called Meroli. And as I was stuck in the traffic jam with my boss sitting next to me, I was impatiently looking at my watch, and I decided to press, and I started to press the horn of the car. And I must have done it like 4 or 5 times, like we typically end up doing when we get stuck in a traffic jam. And my boss patiently sort of waited out this period of time where I was showing him, anxiety and was pressing the horn, and then said to me, he says, "So what's happened with the pressing of your horn?" And I said, what do you mean? He said, you've been sort of blowing the horn a couple of times. What's happened? Has the traffic moved? Has the traffic jam disappeared? And I said, no. And he said something to me, which I think again has stuck with me for the rest of my life. It's that focus on what is in your locus of control. There are a whole host of things in this world that are outside of your locus of control. If you start to worry about everything that is not controllable by you, then I promise you, you're going to have a very stressful life. But if you focus on things that you can control and then make decisions about you and about your life, you will find that you will lead a much lesser stressful life. So focus on what is in your locus of control. Two other things that I would like you to remember. One, life's not fair. And I say this with a fair amount of seriousness. You will not find a journey in your life, none of us on this screen have, that will run smoothly for the rest of your living years. You will fall down. You will bruise yourself. It's about how quickly you pick yourself up. Bruises are great to have. They are always good because they remind you that you've learned some lessons, but it's really about how quickly you can pick yourself up and get on with life. So remember, life's not going to be fair, but you're going to have to deal with that. And the second one is really the fact that you always have a choice. No matter what you think, no matter how much you believe that you don't have a choice, you always have a choice. Possibly a tough choice, a choice that you don't want to think about, but you will always have a choice. And to the point that I made earlier to you, when you have choices, you have to make decisions. And you have to understand that you need to own the consequences of the decisions that you make, big or small. Ladies and gentlemen, live, love, stay happy, and stay blessed. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Mr. Mathur. Before we began the convocation in the practice room, I remember you speaking about your bucket list. And what a beautiful bucket list you've given to our graduating scholars. 1, challenge and compete with yourself. 2, embrace the change. Be open to experiences and ideas. 3, seek diversity. Look at people who are different and learn to listen. A very important professional quality. Accountability and assessing what you've done and where it will take you. Another important criteria. The key to your happiness and your peace of mind is with you. So keep the locus of control with yourself. Don't mope and ask, why me? Ask, what do I do next? It will give you much better energy. And lastly, whether in life or in your career, always remember there is a golden pot. There is always a plan B. So, as you said, well-being and positivity is what these young scholars need to generate in their corporate, professional, and personal life. What a beautiful message, sir, and so apt. As they say, it's only great thought leaders and thinkers who can deliver profound thoughts with the simplicity of phrase. I'm sure your advice will stay with our budding managers as one of their most significant learnings as they move out of this portal of learning into the corporate world. Thank you, Mr. Rajat Mathur and Mr. VC Agarwal for finding time from your busy schedule to felicitate and honor the IMI class of 2021. Congratulations to the graduating students, their families, and IMI faculty and staff on this auspicious occasion. As they say, learning is a continuous journey, and I don't think the class of 2021 could have got a more apt diksha as they move out from their alma mater. I would now like to take this opportunity to thank our board members, corporate and media guests, and well-wishers who made time from their busy schedule to be a part of the celebrations. For the precision and perfect conduction of the ceremony that we are all experiencing today, I would like to thank our Director General, Dr. Himadri Das, Professor Sanjay Dhamija, Dean Academics and Registrar, Group Captain Vivek Dubey, and under their supervision, the never-tiring, always enthusiastic, and ever-smiling staff colleagues of IMI New Delhi. A special vote of thanks to those who are the very reasons that we celebrate 427 new beginnings, the parents and families of the graduating students, and the dedicated and wonderful faculty of IMI, who wholeheartedly bestowed comprehensive knowledge and necessary skill set to build the foundation for the class of 2021. These strong pillars are like the magi and will always be applauding the loudest and with immense pride as our young achievers scale new heights. May I now request Mr. V.C. Agarwal, member IMI Board of Governors, to declare the proceedings of the convocation closed.
I declare the proceedings of the convocation closed.
And now, may I request everyone to please rise to pay respect to our national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and goodbye.